stats for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question? We can't ask Rashad question.
I want to talk about Mikey and the transfer portal. So Mikey Williams went into the transfer portal. Uneventful year for him this season. He didn't play much at the beginning of the year. Then at the end of the season, he got to play a little more. He got to show his talent, and he was scoring a little more. Overall, it all evened out to be 5.1 points per game. That's his main thing. Everything else is going to be close to zero across the board because his main kind of focus is scoring. As you see in the last game of the season, he had 11 points, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 3 fouls, 2 rebounds. It's kind of like he had 14 points against Oklahoma State. I remember that game because they hyped it up like he scored 80 points. And it's just an unfortunate kind of decline for Mikey Williams. Going into the season, he said he wanted to kind of be one and done in a way, because this is technically his first year, you would say. Yeah, they got him as a freshman. So he said, I still want to be one and done. My ultimate goal is to make it to the NBA. That didn't happen this year. So now, okay, we take a slice of humble pie and reevaluate where we're at and what we need to do. Mikey already lost 1-2 years due to legal troubles. And so now you're older. So now NBA teams are looking at you with like, he's older though. Number 1 pick, Zachary Richardson still ain't 20. He's still a teenager. He's still 19 years old. And he's starting to improve and get better every single game. And it's looking like a promising pick for the Hawks to get him at 1. A lot of people was like, oh, it's a weak draft, terrible pick in a weak draft, blah, 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 blah. All that. He figured it out. And he's figuring it out. And the main draw to it is the fact that he's 19 years old. Mikey right now has to be 20. Mikey has to be 20 at this point. Because he was like 18 when he graduated. Well, most people are 18 when they graduate high school. But yeah, he's 20. He's going to be 21 next season. He's going to be a 21-year-old fresh sophomore. Okay, so you're going to be a 21-year-old sophomore. You really, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on right now that you have to figure it out, bro. You have to figure it out and you have to put it together because the clock is ticking. 21-year-old sophomore. Next year kind of has to be it for you unless you're just going to put together a solid college career, 4 years, say, and then you're just going to find your niche in the league. Like you're going to be a lockdown defender or you're just going to be an energy guy, an enforcer, right? You're going to be the guy to step up to everybody and bark at the players on the other team, or you have to find some type of role if you're going to stay in college for 4 years to make it into the NBA at this point, unless at 21 sophomore season, you ball out. Then you might get an opportunity to go late second round, be a two-way player, and then work your way up to the league at 22, 23 years old. Other than that, stay in school 4 years and find your niche. Try to be like if I'm going to be someone, I'm going to be Tony Allen. If I'm going to be someone, I'm going to be Dylan Brooks. If I'm going to be someone, I'm going to be Pat Beverly. Got to find something. So best of luck to Mikey. It's a bit of a sad story to see the story kind of go like this. Keep your head up as always. Stay encouraged. Stay positive. Keep positive people around you. But also don't keep yes man around you. Like keep people that's going to keep it real. Like, bro, you about to turn 21 going into your sophomore year. You coming off a season where you average 5 points a game. Regardless if the coach gave you a chance, regardless if the coach was hating, and it's politics, the reality is the reality. NBA teams aren't going to look at it's politics, and you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt that Bronny gets. It just is what it is, bro. So that's what it is, man. You gotta lock in for sure. It's time. Like you're running out of time, to be honest. Like in life, you got a bunch of time. You're 21 years old. You can use your influence and your high school fame to go. You could do what Julian Newman does, whatever that is. Play in the celebrity games, play streamers. Julian Newman went to NAIA after that and stuff like that. But he still does like the influencer stuff. You can go tour with Harlem Globetrotters. You could play with and one. It's so many ways that you could do entertaining stuff uh, with the game of basketball and everything like that. With your platform being an influencer, you could start obviously a podcast, your own podcast and stuff like that. Do we need more basketball podcasts? Not really, but like you would be a voice for the youngins that don't have a, you know what I'm saying? We all have all these old podcasts, but we don't have an independent youngins hoopers podcast. So for that generation of kids and everything like that, you can be that for them. You can have that type of voice and tell your stories about how it was for you being a teenage star and all of those things and sort of like that. So there's that. Also another one, Justin Pippen, the brother of Scottie Pippen Jr. and obviously the son of Scottie Pippen, is entering the transfer portal in Michigan. I saw this. I just thought it was a funny tweet. It's like the transfer portal is wild. His team's in the Sweet 16 right now. I just always think those things are funny. How like Dominique Davis did that for USC, but I think I still saw her like dressed out, like just on the bench in her sweats and stuff like that. But yeah, that stuff is always kind of crazy to me, wild to me. How like players be in the transfer portal and still like we still playing and things of that sort. But that's what's going on in the portal right now. Some people are like, is this the end of mid majors because of NIL? You know, everything goes to the highest bidder. And to that, I say, like, when have mid majors ever really competed for championships? Like, mid majors, they make runs to the Final Four. Sometimes, I think in the case of Butler, they went to the championship and they were one half court prayer heave away from Gordon Hayward bouncing from winning the championship. Mid majors, as long as I remember, excuse me if I'm wrong, if you're gonna say, oh, so and so, like, you know how in baseball Coastal Carolina won last year, or I mean a few years ago. It's like Coastal Carolina won the College World Series. Like that doesn't really happen in basketball. It's like most people that win are the Power Fives. Now the the Power Fours now. A lot of people make runs and stuff like that, but they don't win the actual thing. You know, even when an 8th, 9th seed wins on the men's side, it's still like UConn or Wisconsin or you know what I'm saying? Like a major team. So yeah. I don't know if I would say NIL is necessary. If anything, I'll say this. I think NIL and the transfer portal are killing the mid-major schools' legacies of historic players, right? So if you have a player who wants to get 2,000 points in his career at this school, he led the team to 3 NCAA appearances, tournament appearances. He led the school to so-and-so conference titles, and he led the school in this category, in this category, in this category, like all that stuff, right? Then you would be like, what I want to say. You'd be a school legend forever. Like RJ Hunter can go back to Georgia State whenever he wants. He's a legend at Georgia State. Some players can go back to their schools whenever they want. They're a legend there. Like they'll always be, hey, jersey in the stands, everything like that. Danny Granger can go back to New Mexico whenever he wants to. Hey, Kawhi Leonard can go back to San Diego State whenever he wants to. Hey, like staying at the smaller schools, it's like a legacy and a pride thing that's always going to be there with you in that school that only you two will understand. And I think with NIL and the transfer portal, it's like, okay, say I stay at this school 4 years. It's no guarantee I'm going to go to the league, especially if I stay all 4 years at a mid-major. I'm going to maximize my earning potential for this sport while I'm in college. So if I'm here 2 years, I balled out at my mid-major, I know I'm not going to the league at this point. I waited too late. I should have left after my freshman year when I averaged 25 points to go to the league. I waited. It's been 2 years. Duke is offering, because they offered a boy from Tulane what, like $7 million, $8 million, $9 million a year, and that's a quarterback. Duke not even a football school. What are we doing? He got $9 million to play quarterback at Duke. Anyways, shouts out to bro. Tulane great for sure. But imagine like Duke offers a bag for 10 mil for your last 10 years of school. So you get 5 mil junior year, 5 mil senior year. Bro, I'm gonna take that. If I know I'm not gonna go to the NBA, like at this point, I know I'm not on any mock boards anymore like that. I've been averaging 20 plus the last 2 seasons at my mid-major. I'm gonna go to the little Duke or Kansas, Kentucky, one of the Blue Buds, and get me 5 million a piece for my last 2 years of school, because after this it's gonna be G League and overseas. Overseas, I'm gonna get maybe 1 mil, 3 mil. The bag gonna be better than the G League, because the G League, in a lot of cases, you ain't gonna be getting paid not much but minor league prices in baseball. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I could either make 50, 60, 40,000 playing in the G. Well, I don't know how many. Let me look up what the G League salary is. I should bring on Kyle to talk about this. Shout out Kyle Castlin. Here it is. Players signed directly to a G League team earn $40,500 a year. Players drafted by NBA teams and assigned to G League on two-way contracts earn a minimum of $500,000. So there it is right there. So you get $500,000 if you're a two-way player, but if you're just a regular G League player, you get $40,000. So, all right, for the rest of my career, after this 4 years in college, I'm gonna make $40,000. Okay. Yeah, let me take the 5 million a year. let me take the 10 million, because this 10 million will probably be more than I ever make in my professional career, especially if I just stay in America. Now, if I go overseas and I play 6 years overseas, I can make back that 10 mil. But like, I ain't trying to go overseas every single year that nobody speak the language. I don't like the food. I don't understand anybody. Everybody look at me weird because I'm tall and black. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm tall and white and American. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Everybody don't want to have to go through that for 6, 8 years just to make the money back that they could have made in America while they were younger and got their bag at a younger time by just going to a P5 or P4 for 2 years for 10 million. So I think that is killing, like, you know what I'm saying, just legacies at small schools and small school legends, because, you know, you don't have the extensive resume that you would otherwise. Like, you don't get a Steph Curry 4 years at Davidson. Like, as soon as Steph Curry got lit his junior year, when he was coming back for that next year, Joker would have went, well, I think he was a sophomore, right? He was a sophomore and came back his junior year. He got lit sophomore year with the run in the tournament and came back junior year. If Steph Curry would have got lit sophomore year, right, the same way his brother did at Liberty, and what his brother did, oh, I could go to Duke, get more exposed. I'm gonna go to Duke. If Steph was like, okay, I'm lit, Duke offering 8 million. At this point, he don't know if he going to the league. Because yes, he the hottest thing smoking. Everybody talking about Steph Curry and Davidson being the Cinderella, and he going to the Elite Eight, and this skinny kid in this baggy jersey and these baggy shorts is dancing all around and pointing to the sky after every three, and he like a machine dribbling and everything like that. He still doesn't know if he gonna go to the league, bro, because it's like people still like he too skinny. We don't know about this and that. Like, he playing mid-mate. Look at his competition. Is this a fluke run? You know what I'm saying? That's how people still thinking with Steph Curry at the time. And then he could also be a player who does get drafted and he doesn't last longer than his first contract. He doesn't last longer than his rookie contract in the league, right? So it's like, in that case, Steph Curry might be like, Duke offering 8 million to come to Duke for my junior season, and then I go to the league, I'm gonna have more exposure. I'm gonna take the 8 million guaranteed, and then we don't get the legend that is Steph Curry at Davidson Every time he go back to Davidson, it's not Steph Curry. It's not all of that. The whole team don't wear Under Armour because of Steph Curry. Steph Curry don't get a I don't think he has a statue yet, but he should get a statue. He's not going to get a statue. He's not going to get the retired jersey and everything like that because he didn't do the whole Davidson thing. So I think NIL and the transfer portal definitely killed that. The small school legend. I don't think there'll be any more small school legends, which is unfortunate. But in terms of just competition, I don't think it killed competition. I think it's always going to be some Cinderellas and stuff poking out. Like, look at McNeese State. Like, that was a Cinderella. I mean, of course, they only won one game. They didn't go to the Sweet 16 or anything like that. But I think those kids like are a good example of teams that still exist. They could win one game on a good day and have chemistry and work well as a unit. You know, they might not have the stars individually, but work well as a unit always. Everybody knows their role. They've been playing together for 3-4 years. And they stick together because they NIL offers and they transfer portal offers want $8 million from Duke. Everybody can't get $8 million from Duke. So it's like, all right, we're going to stay together, build on this thing. And like McNeese, most of them jokers were seniors this year. You know, they talking about like, oh, coach, am I coming with you to NC State? Y'all ain't got no eligibility yet. If some of y'all might have a grad year eligibility left, but most of y'all was seniors. Senior night, the whole team came out there with their parents with a little frame, and the jersey and picture and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? That's you still gonna get that. I feel like every now and again, you're just not gonna get runs to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight and the Final Four anymore. And you're not gonna get small town school legends. You know, you're not gonna get someone like I know this is a bigger school, but you're not gonna get someone with a popularity and a legendary trademark and all that, like a Trey Burke at Michigan or a DJ Burns at NC State. You're not going to get that at mid-major schools anymore because of NIL. Like, kids going to leave as soon as they get the opportunity to. So, yeah, I wanted to say that. This Dan Hurley.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.